Here's what most people get wrong about bettas. You walk into a pet store, look at those betta cups, and think they're all basically the same fish. Red one, blue one, maybe a fancy one with longer fins. You pick one. Done. Wrong. There's something you don't know, yet something that changes how you understand bettas completely. By the end of this, you'll see these fish differently. You'll understand why one costs $5 and another costs $50. You'll know exactly what to look for, and you'll never make the mistake of thinking all bettas are the same again. Let's start. Fin types. Why they matter. Before you even think about colors or patterns, there's something more fundamental. The shape of a betta's fins tells a story. It tells the story of selective breeding, of genetic goals, of how much work went into creating that fish. And here's the thing most people miss: the fin type directly impacts how the fish swims, how it displays, and how much care it actually needs. But there's one fin type that changes everything about how you understand the rest. It's the baseline. Veiltail, the fish everyone starts with, but should know better. The veiltail is what you see in most beginner pet store tanks. Long, drooping fins that cascade downward like silk. Graceful. Beautiful. Inexpensive, about $5. Here's the problem. Those beautiful fins are also its biggest weakness. That's what people don't expect. They see the flowing beauty and think durable. They're wrong. Water quality drops even slightly. Fin rot sets in immediately. These fins demand perfection in husbandry. So why mention it first? Because everything else builds on this. Every other fin type is a refinement, a modification, a specific breeding goal away from the veiltail standard. COMBTAIL, the showstopper, with a display that stops you cold. Imagine fins with gaps between the rays. Deep gaps. Enough that the fins look like the teeth of a comb or the spines on a hedgehog. That's the COMBTAIL. And there's something about watching one flare that catches people off guard. The webbing dips so dramatically between the rays that it creates this striking, aggressive appearance. Show judges love them. Collectors love them. But here's what's unexpected. That threatening display? It's exactly the point. This fish was bred for that moment. When it flares, when those gaps spread wide, that's the achievement. Crowntail, the second most common, and why that matters. You want to know why the crowntail is in every pet store right next to the veiltail? Because it's the sweet spot. Dramatically reduced fin webbing creates those spiky, jagged extensions that spread out like a rooster's crown. Bold, attitude-filled, sold for $7 to $8. But there's a catch most people don't think about. That crowntail you see in the store, if it's large and fully grown, it's probably already a year old. Bettas only live 3 to 5 years. You might be buying a fish that's already a third of the way through its life. The fish looks stunning, but now you know the timeline. Delta tail, the middle ground that works. Triangular shape, clean spread. Not quite 180 degrees, but close. The delta tail is the fish that looks impressive without demanding the extreme care that half moons do. But here's the thing. These fish need space. A cramped tank does them a disservice. Give them a proper tank, and they reveal what they were built for: that sleek, refined look in full display. Super Delta, where the price suddenly jumps. Step up from the basic show beta, and something changes. The Super Delta's fins almost connect. Not quite touching, but close enough that when you look at it, you feel the difference. $10 instead of $5. Why the jump? More finnage means more surface area for color patterns. Those vibrant reds, blues, and multicolors suddenly look more vivid because there's more fin to display them on. It lives just as long as any betta, but visually, it's a different tier entirely. Half moon, the gold standard, and why people pay for it. This is the fish that changed betta keeping forever. When a half moon displays, its tail spreads out in a perfect 180-degree arc. A complete half circle, not approximate, not pretty close, perfect. And that perfection has consequences. Around $15 in a pet store. Widely available, stunning in literally any color. But in this is critical: those heavy, spread out fins need warm water. Not just room temperature, warm. And if you put it in a community tank with nippy fish, those fins get shredded. Tiger barbs absolutely will destroy them. You're buying into a standard of care when you buy a half moon. Half sun, the hybrid that shouldn't work, but does. Crowntail crossed with half moon. You'd think you'd get something confused, something that doesn't know what it wants to be. Instead, you get something genuinely unique. The wide 180-degree tail spread combined with those jagged, ray-like edges. It's the best of both worlds looking at each other and creating something better than either alone. Double tail, the symmetrical show-off, with a hidden problem. 2 distinct tails. Perfectly mirrored. Genuinely remarkable to watch swim and display. Here's what makes it interesting. The body is shorter, stockier. And that's the trade-off. More visual impact on the tail end, but more prone to swim bladder issues. It's beautiful, but it requires attention. Elephant EAR/Dumbo EAR, the fish that looks like it could fly. Those enormous pectoral fins fan out on the sides like, well, elephant ears. Like the Disney character Dumbo. Massive, dramatic, impossible to miss. Comes in both half-moon and placket body styles. And here's the controversial take. The half-moon Dumbo is one of the most breathtaking fish in the entire hobby. Full tail display combined with those dramatic ear-like fins. It's simultaneously powerful and delicate. The trade-off? Those oversized pectorals make swimming harder. Avoid strong currents. This fish needs calm water. Feather-tailed delicate beauty with a fragility you must accept. Ruffled, feathery fins that give the fish an almost fluffy appearance. Genuinely gorgeous. But those soft, layered fins tear easily. Crystal clear water isn't optional. It's mandatory. Think of it this way. You're not just keeping a fish. You're maintaining a living sculpture that demands perfection. Color types, where the personality shows. Here's what people don't realize about Betta color. It's not just about shade. It's about stability. Some colors fade if water parameters shift. Some intensify with age. Some are rare for a reason they're difficult to maintain. Understanding color type means understanding what kind of keeper that fish needs. Black Betta deep, glossy, commanding. Deep, almost ink-like body. Can show subtle blue or green iridescence under the right light. Striking doesn't begin to cover it. Blue Betta the most beloved, and why? Steel blue to royal blue. The most common and most sought-after color in the hobby. Here's what makes it work. Blue carries a metallic sheen that absolutely pops under bright aquarium lighting. It looks like light is coming from inside the fish. If you want visual impact with reliable color stability, blue is the answer. Brown Betta the overlooked option. Not everyone's first pick. But the brown Betta has quiet charm that people miss. Earthy tones. Blends beautifully with natural tank setups. Less flashy. More sophisticated. Sometimes understated beats flashy. Copper Betta the metallic marvel. Metallic copper sheen that reflects light like hammered metal moving through water. But here's the critical detail. It looks best against a dark background. That contrast is everything. Put a copper Betta against a light background and something gets lost. The setup matters as much as the fish. Green Betta vibrant and underrated. Eye-catching vibrant green. Often carries a slight turquoise shimmer, especially visible on fins. Looks tropical in the best possible way. Purple Betta rare, striking, fragile. One of the rarest color types available. Violet hues that genuinely strike viewers. But here's what makes it different. The color is fragile. Water parameters drift slightly, and the purple fades. This fish rewards the keeper who pays attention. It's a statement about commitment. Red Betta the fiery one, and why people chase it. Bold. Intense. Unapologetic. One of the most sought-after colors in the hobby. When a healthy red Betta flares, that fiery display stays in people's minds. A well-kept red Betta is pure fire. White Betta ethereal and demanding. Pure white body. Pure white fins. And here's what kills it. Pristine white requires pristine water. Any drop in quality, and that white clouds or spots. There's nowhere for dirt to hide on a white Betta. It's honest. Demanding. Beautiful. Yellow Betta bright and dynamic. Bright, cheerful. Brings sunny energy. But here's what's interesting. As they age, some yellow Bettas develop faint orange hues. The color actually changes over time. You're not keeping the same color fish you brought home. Pastel Betta soft and calming. Muted, gentle hues across body and fins. These pair exceptionally well with lush planted tanks where the soft colors feel at home. Sometimes the quiet choices are the most beautiful. That Betta cup at the pet store, you're no longer looking at it the same way. You see the genetics. You understand the breeding. You know the commitment. And now when you pick a Betta, you'll actually know what you're getting. That changes everything.